What's going on, guys? This is Real Deal Fantasy HQ with my co-host for the Fantasy Trash Talkers, episode 4, Orlando. Yeah, we got to get some horns. I can add that to the video. We really didn't need to make the music, but fuck it. So, episode 4 today, we're going to talk a little bit of fantasy. We're not going to have any of our league mates, the pestering guys that are in our league, come on and talk their shit. So this will be a different episode. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about the running back questions. There's a lot of debates on Twitter right now. For example, we got Gordon versus Lindsey. That'll be our first, batch of people we're going to be talking about for obvious reasons. Fucking Denver Broncos. Anyway, I see you changed up the jerseys in the background. You got LeBron James?
Yeah, man, from his Miami days.
Nah, bro.
I'm gonna try to change up the jerseys. I got a couple more that I could throw up there. I got some.
That might become your thing.
Yeah, maybe next week I'll throw up like a high school baseball jersey back in the day, throwback retro.
So we only want professionals here. We only want professionals here. We don't need the high school dreams.
Yeah. What could have been?
Yeah, because I could pull out some soccer jerseys and then bring up some stories.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's jump right into it. We're gonna talk Lindsey versus Melvin Gordon. I feel like Gordon is the clear RB1. I feel like in draft, him going in the 5th round is a steal. But what may be holding the public, what may be holding people back from pulling the trigger on Gordon 100% is because, one, Denver paid Lindsey. Lindsey's coming off back-to-back seasons with 1,000 yards. And he also has some pass-catching ability. So as a Denver Bronco fan, from your perspective, there's no, bias involved. This is full-on you just talking as a fan. What do you expect from Melvin Gordon going into this 2020 season?
I expect the Broncos to just put a heavy load on him, just use and abuse him. They only have him for 1 year. They gave him a 1-year deal.
Mm-hmm.
And
I think it's 2 year. He got a both. Yeah.
So use and abuse him. We all know how the running back life is very short. So use him while you got him. But I think it's a perfect 1-2 punch. I mean, you got Melvin Gordon, who, although I think only once in his career he's rushed over 1,000 yards, but he's got the touchdown upside. Like, he's scoring over 7 touchdowns in maybe 4 of his 6 seasons. And then you got Lindsey, who's a perfect change. It's not even that drastic of a change of back, like a change of pace back. But he's just like, you got Melvin Gordon. He's like going to bruise you. Plus, he can freaking hurdle you, make you miss. He can do everything. And then you bring in Lindsey, who I think will probably play a bigger role in like the third down, change of pace back, catching.
Yeah.
But also, it doesn't take much for him to, break one loose. They can easily both rush for 1,000 yards this year. I mean, last year, Lindsey and Freeman almost did it. I think Freeman was like 9-something. Like, he just missed the 1,000-yard mark. So, and that's with, a trash team, no real quarterback for most of the season. Offensive line, not that great. We did play a lot better towards the end of the season when Drew Lock came in. But, we got weapons around Lock. We got an offensive line better. Another year with Mike Munchak as the coach. A lot of guys are like on the fence about Bowles, myself included, but I like to see he did play a lot better towards the end of the season. The offensive line is not as bad as our record shows. So I think this year Melvin Gordon, Philip Lindsay, both can be. I could say Melvin Gordon RB1 definitely, and Philip Lindsay, he's definitely got RB1 potential still being the RB2 in Denver, rushing over 1,000 yards. He got the pass catching ability.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a bad setup. I mean, I'm all in on both Denver running backs. They're going to run the ball. They're going to be a run offense first. So I'm all in on both of them. Sign me up.
Yeah, for real. I mean, I feel like it's kind of like crazy that they went out and got Melvin Gordon for the simple fact that nobody knew they were in business for a running back. So that kind of threw me for a loop, being that Lindsey's coming off back-to-back seasons with, like 1,000-yard rushes. So it's crazy. Like the simple fact that they increased his, rushing attempts from 192 to 224, which is amazing to me because that gives me the signal that they're thinking he could be the guy. Any running back or any backup, change of pace, whatever you want to call Lindsey, to get over 200 touches, it's kind of like, oh shit, maybe he's the guy. But then they bring in Melvin Gordon, and it's like, oh shit, what happens now? So I think more or less I could see Lindsey still being consistent, like RB3 flex. But when it comes down to Melvin Gordon's volume and production, I think he does get the full workload, but to an extent. I don't think we're going to see much pass catching ability out of Melvin Gordon this season. I think he's going to be the brute pure runner. I think he's going to get the goal line opportunity. And then, being that they paid Lindsey a multi-year, contract, it's not like a 1 year, it's not a franchise tag or anything like that. They want Lindsey to be there. So I think with that going on, it feels like, they're going to have that 1-2 punch, which isn't bad. Because if we do think and remember the 1-2 punch that I like that I favored really was Devontae Freeman and Tevin Coleman. So that was a beautiful, beautiful connection there. That was like a beautiful thing to watch because Tevin Coleman week to week was still fantasy relevant between like 10 to 12 points. And like that's an easy flex position. So if I can get that out of Lindsey in this situation, I'm fine because he's at least seeing like 5 to 7 touchdowns, like you said, regardless. So I can take that on the table with Lindsey sitting there in the later rounds. Like I think Lindsey's going in like the 7th, 8th round, maybe even later. You know what I mean? Some people are just
that's fucking crazy.
Washing him off. And it's crazy because they think Melvin Gordon's coming in. They think Melvin Gordon's coming in with like a 75 to 80% projectile snap opportunity. We only see that out of Zeke. We only see that out of 2017, 2018 Todd Gurley. We only see that out of Saquon. There's only a few running backs that get that 75% snap opportunity. We're not going to see that out of Melvin Gordon because Melvin Gordon hasn't seen that his entire career. He's been 60 and under, people. So it's like he's not the clear workhorse, that everybody thinks that he is, that they think probably Denver's going to use. So Lindsey's definitely still going to be involved. So overall, I think you draft with caution with Melvin Gordon. I think you don't reach. I think you have him as your RB2, maybe even flex. Him and Todd Gurley are literally back-to-back in my rankings right now.
Yeah, like I said, I'm all in on Gordon. Definitely not an RB as my RB1, but definitely as an RB2, RB3. Mm-hmm. And like you brought up Gurley, same thing with him, I'll take him as my RB3 or 2, and if he blows up, it's a win-win. I mean, I look like a genius, and if he doesn't, I can maybe trade him away, get some value somewhere else at another position.
Or you just draft insurance. You just draft, like I said, if you're doing that with Melvin Gordon, you just draft Lindsey. You just handcuff. I mean, in those situations, you got to, but it's different with Gurley. I don't think you handcuff Ito Smith at all, really.
Nah.
And Gurley's on a 1-year contract, so he's going to be ran to the ground until he's in the hospital. So there's that. I'm not really sold on Todd Gurley 100% for longevity. So I will honestly be surprised if he's still fantasy relevant by week 10. I'll put it there, week 10. That's not even like a stretch. Week 10.
Yeah, I mean, it's scary too because of the 1-year deal and because of the injury history now that he's got. Is that Atlanta's just going to use him and they have nothing to lose. If he gets hurt, then let's see you later.
Shout out to Matt Ryan. He's on his hot streak this year. I don't know if you know, but I know you're new to Twitter. But watching this since 2012. He's been hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold. It's like he's doing it on purpose. This year, Matt Ryan will be hot. Put it in stone, bank it, draft it. Okay, guaranteed. So he's gonna have a top 12 performance. So last season he be 11, but he's gonna be hot.
You'd be okay with drafting him as your QB?
Yes. If I can get him at his current ADP, which is like the 10th round.
Oh yeah, I mean I would be all right with that. You already know exactly. Who I'm drafting.
He's gonna be hot. Oh my god, we need to talk about it.
Nah, let's move on. The next pair of running backs we have is your guys, Cam Akers and
Darrell
Henderson.
Hendo. Now, I've been big campaigning, big facts for Cam Akers. Now, Cam Akers is a very attractive pick at the last second. I actually thought, maybe I should pump the brakes on Cam Akers, but then it's like, no, it's a full send because Henderson has not proven himself. And I don't want to keep bringing it back to Denver, but that Denver preseason game let me know 100% Darrell Henderson is not NFL polished. He's not NFL ready. His first contact with any defensive player, he's already on the ground. It was just embarrassing. It was just embarrassing. And it's like you're facing third string guys. Like you are a top prospect. We traded up to go get him. So we're thinking this dude's going to be amazing. He's going to be the secure insurance policy for Todd Gurley if he goes down. It didn't happen that way. Malcolm Brown still existed. So there's that. But Cam Akers, 74% of his yardage came after contact. That is a fucking crazy stat to me. He was the only player on Florida State that was drafted this year. One, and that was him. For the simple reason their O-line was trash. Our O-line isn't that great. It's at the low 20s, 26 or whatever. Cool, whatever. And he's going to fucking make the fucking space. He's going to find the holes, and he's going to be able to bounce off of these fucking linebackers, defensive linemen, and get the yardage. He's going to fight for it. That's one thing I saw out of him at his highlight tapes. His fucking balance. His contact balance is something like Alvin Kamara. We seen Alvin Kamara get fucking swarmed with guys. Spin out, juke, spin left, and fucking be gone and take it to the house. That's something that you fucking need in your backfield. So with this Darrell Henderson hype and then versus Cam Akers, I don't see Henderson in the mix to be an RB2, behind Cam Akers because Malcolm Brown still exists. So there's that. You know what I mean? I don't think people really understand what's going on. So there's that hot.
Yeah, I think Cam Akers he's gonna run away with that spot. They're gonna give him the ball, and there's gonna be no looking back, and we're not even gonna know who the backups are to Cam Akers after the season.
Yeah. If anything, they'll probably start off slow, which we usually do with our rookies. And I honestly think it's going to be to the point in preseason where we see so much out of him, where he flashes so much talent. I'm like, nah, take a game. Go ahead, Henderson. Go on. That's what's exactly going to happen. And then the simple fact with Malcolm Brown still being there, I can see a 60-40 split between Cam Akers and Malcolm Brown. Just to, preserve, Cam Akers' health, just to, let Malcolm Brown actually play out his contract. You know what I mean? They're not going to just have him sit for 2 years and not play at least some type of down. So there's that situation that I really don't think is anything worth mentioning come fantasy. You know what I mean? So Cam Akers is definitely a full fucking send.
We have Kerryon versus Swift. Now, this is a backfield. This is a backfield that, even though I like Swift and Detroit picked him in the second round, pretty high, right in the beginning of the second round, but Detroit backfield, I'm just staying away from. I don't want any parts of it.
Nah, I think the past years we've seen so many running backs come out of there and not crack that 1,000 yards, and it's pretty sad. And I've said this on plenty of videos. I said this all over Twitter. Reggie Bush was the last 1,000-yard rusher for the Detroit Lions, and he put up 1,006 yards. Barely, when I say barely did that, and that was so many years ago.
I don't even remember him playing for the Lions.
There it is. There it is. There it is. Nobody even remembers that season, which is crazy. But the next guy that we thought was going to be that guy was definitely Ameer Abdullah, and it just did not work out at all. No. And I feel like that's the space that we're in with Kieran. Now, he has the talent. Like, trust and believe. I think he's better than Theo Riddick and Ameer Abdullah, all the rest of the line running backs that came through there. But injury is like such a big thing with him. Like, dude, stay healthy. If you look at his history in Auburn, he had injury history there. So it's like he was coming in the NFL hurt. You know what I mean? So it's like, damn, he has the talent. It's just it's not going to pop off. So with this whole situation with Swift coming in, it's like, what happens with Kieran? Like, he's going to be healthy in the beginning of the season. So who's the week one starter? It's like the huge question. And like, people are drafting Kieran, people are drafting Swift, but Swift is obviously going so much higher than Kieran, which is crazy to me right now because we really don't know how this is going to play out.
I mean, Kieran can't stay healthy. He hasn't played a full season. I mean, he's only been in the league for, 2 years? But he's yet to play a full season. I think let me look at it real quick. He's yet to break like 120 attempts.
Oh, God.
Like, the yardage is like just trash. Touchdown. He doesn't get a lot of rushing touchdowns. And his receiving, the receiving stats don't even like make up for like the lack of rushing attempts that he has. Like, he's not even that used as a receiver either. So, me personally, if I had to pick one, if I was given a choice, I would definitely go Swift. Like, he's the young guy. They obviously like him, drafting him in the fucking second round. So he played in the SEC. So he's going up against all the powerhouse teams, all the pro-ready style college teams. So I think he's set up pretty nicely. But again, I'm staying away from the Detroit Lions back then.
Yeah, they're not on my radar. They're in the the list of do not draft for me.
Yeah,
like New England, San Fran, Lions. It just makes sense. It just flows all together. Don't touch their fucking backfield. So it's kind of like I do want Swift to pop off, but then again, it's like Kieran, like like I said, he has the talent. I would love to get Kieran in like the fucking 8th or 9th round, and he ends up being the starter. He ends up being healthy, and he ends up really popping the fuck off. And then we got Swift sitting there on the bench where he's going in like the 6th, fucking 7th round. And it's like, these are 2 rounds above where I just got Kieran, and he's the clear today starter. It's not like they announced that they're going to be doing a split. They didn't announce Swift as a starter or anything like that. It's just, you know what I mean? It's just up in the air right now. It's May. It is early, but again, that's definitely going to be on my mind come draft day. But like you said, you're avoiding. I'm avoiding. I know a couple people that are Lions fans. They like to play homers. They're going to go get their guys. They're going to go get the guys. And we
Anyway, on to better things.
Cheers.
Cheers, buddy.
Give me money.
Cheers, buddy. Not a big fan of these, by the way, but the cherry flavor is probably the best one that they have.
Backs. Best one out of the trash.
Next on the list, we got some heavy hitters now. Now we're getting back into some fantasy relevance. We got Chubb and
I do not know. When it comes to this, I do not know. I don't like to speak on it for the simple fact that they are both stud running backs. We could put that title still on Kareem Hunt because of his situation.
But I would, you could say it's possible he could still be a stud.
He's still a stud, bro. He produced, he performed when he got opportunity, but his off-field issues play a big part in drafting him, investing. Let's say that, investing in Hunt. He's going in the 6th round right now, which is fair, but he has a Nick Chubb in front of him who's not going to stop rushing the hell out of that fucking field. So it's like You're at a situation, you have Chubb, you want to handcuff Hunt, but that's a high investment to go ahead and make that handcuff. Most handcuffs are like between round 7 and beyond. He's like in the 6th round, maybe even like late 5th round where Hunt is going. That's a high investment for a handcuff, to be honest. And I don't feel comfortable with that. You know what I mean?
If you're going to – I would avoid handcuffing Chubb with Hunt. And if you have Chubb, you might as well just go and get my boy Lindsey at that point. Like, he's going to get a lot more time in my honest opinion.
Then Hunt?
Yeah.
In PPR, maybe. But Hunt is still going to be relevant when it comes to touchdowns. That's what kept him relevant last season. You know what I mean? Him being able to get touchdowns. And I think that's what's going to happen this next season, being that he's going to be very touchdown dependent. But like I said before, I was speaking to you before we got on the show, if he gives me like 10 to 15 points a week just because he gets one touchdown, a couple catches out of backfield, and gives me like 50 yards, I can fucking do that at my flex, being that, that's going to be a consistent thing, being that Chubb is going to be the elite stud guy that's invested in the first round that's expected to give you 50 to 20 points a week or more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I can deal with that.
I think, when Hunt first came to the Browns, it was a lot scarier for people to trust Chubb. And then they went and gave him 298 attempts, and he rushed for damn near 1,500 yards with 8 touchdowns. So it's like he earned his spot. He earned his role. He earned the workhorse role. And Hunt's going to still get his touches. He'll still get some, he'll get some good points. But there's no question to me that Hunt is going to, like, eat at Chubb's productivity. Like, Chubb's going to get his. There's just, like, no doubt about it. Like,
let's be honest, the Browns are a bet. So they're going to have to lean on their best players.
Yeah. I mean,
that's another thing that scares me.
I think they'll be better this year, but even like sucking, or I wouldn't say sucking, but like underperforming where they wanted to, or where everyone hyped them up to be. Like
paper champs.
Like Chubb still fucking dominated. I think he was I think he was second in rushing for the league.
Yeah.
And that's on the Browns. Like,
amazing.
Exactly.
Without Joe Thomas.
Yeah, on a team where you would think, losing that many games, they got to play catch up, and he's still rushing for 1,500 yards. Like, imagine when they, this year they're definitely going to be better this year.
Yeah, they gotten better through the draft. They got better with understanding what needed to change, being that Kitchens wasn't getting the job done, and we kind of were led on false hope, being that the last 7 games of the 2018 season that Kitchens took over, Baker was like putting up top 10 QB numbers, and we're thinking like, all right, if Kitchens keeps this going into the next season, maybe Baker will be, he'll get that push of top 7. Shit the bet on that one, Kitchens. What the fuck?
Wow.
I don't know how you do that. But, let's move on.
Let's move on to a team that everybody is talking about, who I have as the Cleveland Browns 2.0 of last year on the hype train, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yes, sir.
Take it away.
So this is a big Twitter debate that was happening all last week. It's Keyshawn Vaughn versus Ronald Jones. Now, everybody's having this like hope that Ronald Jones gets it together. He's the guy that he came out of college with, and all this other bullshit. It's clear that Bruce Arians loves Ronald Jones. He keeps giving him chances, keeps getting him attempts, and it's like it's not hitting. It's not it, Chief. And I feel like with this season coming in with Brady, with the weapons that he has, Godwin, Evans, O.J. Howard, Gronk, etc., Keyshawn Vaughn is a fucking brute runner. Like, he was labeled David Johnson 2.0. And do we remember Bruce Arians, what he did with David Johnson? Gold. golden years. So it's like when you have that type of talent in your roster, there's no way in hell I'm taking a Ronald Jones who had 2 years of opportunity to show he could be the guy, and that has not happened yet. Get the guy, the rookie, the fresh legs, who's your David Johnson 2.0, fresh out of Bruce Arians' mouth. Give him the shot. I don't understand how this is even a debate. Like, Ronald Jones has not put up anything that was noticeable for me to be jumping out to be like, holy shit, I got to handcuff him, because he couldn't fight off Peyton fucking Barber.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I kind of feel bad for him.
Actually pissed me off.
Shut up. Nah, I think definitely Vaughn has a lot more upside. He's proven in college he can run through people, run around people, going over 1,000 yards in multiple seasons. And he's gonna be on the Bucks. Their offensive line, I think they drafted a guy. It's gonna be improved because of Brady. They don't want to fucking kill him. He's like 80-something years old now.
Oh hell yeah!
And Brady's not gonna have the arm to be throwing it the way Jameis did. Like Jameis, that's all he had. That's all they could do because they were fucking losing every game. Like he was just slinging it fucking 80 times a game. I think they're gonna try to dial that back with Brady, and I think they're gonna give this young kid. I think he's gonna end up winning the starting job, and I think he might be a name we talk about next year as, you know, a guy that came from nowhere. You know, like a fucking. I wouldn't say like an Alvin Kamara, like a Philip Lindsay, but like someone who's definitely going to be a lot more relevant. Hopefully on a better Bucks team now that they have Brady. I don't know how that makes you like a Super Bowl contender, but
I mean,
anyway,
I feel like they've gotten better through the draft. I definitely know and 100% can say they're going to protect Brady, and that only means that the running backs will benefit from it. And like being with all this COVID shit, like there's not going to really be OTAs, rookie rookie training camps or etc. So it's like we're not really going to be able to see or hear any of that bullshit. So it's like it's really going to come down to training camp, preseason to really get a look with the eye test to see who's going to get this starting job. But honestly, we both can agree it's going to be a full send on Keyshawn Vaughn come draft day, and it's going to be like that whole debate should just be deaded by the time we hit August.
Yeah, Ronald Jones had his opportunity, and he showed he couldn't get it done. End of story.
No. End of discussion. I can't believe Twitter actually fucking fed into this shit. You know, people that actually watch this shit, like, come on, bro. Like, really, we had this debate. Did we honestly have this debate? Like, stop. Get the fuck out of here. Move on.
Next up, last running back debate we have on today's show is two running backs that are with a new team. You got Jordan Howard. You got Matt Breida.
Oh, wee.
Now, this one's interesting to me because, I mean, Howard, he's definitely showed that he could be a workhorse. He's a bruiser, and he's got, he's shifty. A lot of people, don't think of him as like a shifty back, but he's got some moves there. And then you got Breida. I mean, this could be with a new quarterback to Miami Dolphins trying to like rebuild their reputation, and a lot of people have them as like a dark horse team coming up in that division now that the Patriots dynasty looks to be over. Mm-hmm. This could be another interesting RB1, RB2 tandem. I'm just going to go out and say it. This is my bold statement for today's episode that Howard and Breida will be, I don't even know how to say it, but like, I think they're going to be a lot more relevant than some people like they're not even on the radar. Breida, he's got injury history. He can't fucking stay healthy for a full season. I've had him multiple seasons, and it's like every week it's like he's fucking questionable. Like Jesus Christ,
Yeah.
dude, like stay healthy and just fucking. It's like
Play.
a headache. Yeah, it's a headache. I have to like follow him daily, like to see if he's gonna fucking play. Like, but when he does play, it looks like he's not gonna play all week. He's like a game time decision, and then he plays. You set him, and then he plays, and he rushed for over 100 yards, 2 touchdowns. It's like, yo, what the fuck? So he's definitely like injury prone, but he kind of like battles through his injuries, and he still plays. Like I don't know how the fuck he does it, but and then you got Howard, who he was being on the Eagles didn't help his like reputation because it was like they didn't know who the fucking use back there. It was like, oh, we're gonna use this guy, and oh, you going for a couple plays. Like Eagles backfield is like, I feel bad for Miles Sanders because I was high on him, and now it's like, I don't know. So, but I think they could be a surprise, like little 1-2 punch. You got the fucking lightning and thunder kind of combination there. So I keep my eyes out for Howard and Breida. I mean, they could shock the fantasy world this year, maybe.
Yeah, I think they could be something talked about like week to week. Definitely Breida, what he did in San Fran, like he helped me a couple weeks to be honest as an owner. And then Jordan Howard, I mean, from what we know, what he did in Chicago, you know what I mean? Like it was like good shit, 1,000 yards or whatever. But year after year, as we watch, he just declined in yardage and touchdowns and overall production and like him dealing with Tariq Cohen was the pestering thing. We all knew Tariq Cohen was going to eventually come up and, be very relevant in that offense, especially with Matt Nagy coming in. He loves guys like Tariq Cohen. Now we're dealing with David Montgomery needing to be free, but that's a whole nother episode in itself. But I feel like they could definitely be like lightning and thunder, like you said. But I think one of them, like they need each other to be relevant because I don't see Jordan Howard taking the starting job and rushing for 1,000 yards, and neither do I see that with Matt Breida. I can see like a even split here, some type of thing, or a 1A, 1B situation where they can actually become like some type of fantasy relevant. Do I put them in my starting lineup week to week? No. Probably wait until I see something popping off consistently. But I can't compare them to like a Lindsey situation. I can't compare them to a Swift or a Johnson situation. I can't really compare the two in any other situation of running backs that we talked about because it's just question marks on both of them. And again, the Dolphins aren't known for winning, and they aren't known for running the ball much either because it's like when they had Kenyon Drake, they had Adam Gates as their coach. They had him convince us that Kenyon Drake was a terrible running back. He also convinced us that Ryan Tannehill was a terrible quarterback. And then they all go to new teams and they're fucking popping off and becoming fantasy relevant. So I think overall the stigma, the culture over there in Miami is that the running backs are just mediocre. They're just mid-tier. Not even mid-tier, low-tier. And it's like I can't really see myself drafting a Dolphins running back and be like, yeah, this is comfortable. This is a start and forget every Sunday. This is my flex, my RB2, my RB1. Can't do that with Miami. And I think I'm pretty much going to stay away until, one of these guys fall to me in like the 12th, 13th, 15th round. Like I'm not touching anything above the 10th round on them, honestly, because I just don't see it happening be very like impact, like boom, week 1 and then week 2, week 3. Like I don't see it happening, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, Howard in his years, and I just pulled this up, in his 3 seasons with Chicago, they literally used and abused him. He had in his rookie year 252 attempts, 276, 250. Then he goes to Philly, and they only give him the ball 119 times. Like, what are you doing? Like,
he did get hurt. He got hurt.
He only played 10 games. So,
but
he was probably on pace.
Let's say 9 games. He wasn't on pace for that 250, to be honest. Because Miles Sanders.
I wouldn't say that. But he was averaging 4.4 yards a carry, which
Exactly. He wasn't terrible. It's just that he got hurt. And this is where all the Miles Sanders hype happens after Jordan Howard's hurt.
yeah, that's true. The end of the season, yeah. But I
That's
think
where all of it came.
I called it last year too because I drafted Miles Sanders late, and I said he's going to get the job in the end of the season, like later half of the season, due to injury or whatever, and that's exactly what happened. And he proved to the Eagles that he could be the guy. And I think it's just Doug Peterson just likes to have a lot of running backs and just use them all equally instead of just fucking.
Can I go off real quick?
Yes, please. If it's about the Eagles, please.
2018, they had LeGarrette Blount, Jay Ajayi, Boston Scott, Wendell Smallwood, Corey Clement, and fucking what was the last guy? Fuck. Anyway, I'm at 5 running backs right now. All of them saw equal opportunity. Houseway.
Ridiculous.
Like, it's fucking crazy. Why? Why do you need that many running backs? Oh, and Josh Adams. That was the last guy. 6. That's 6 running backs. And they all had their individual weeks where they were fantasy relevant, which is fucking crazy.
It's
no need.
No need for fantasy purposes. I don't want no parts of it.
Eagles added to the list of avoiding.
Yeah, it sucks too because like Miles Sanders, he's a beast, bro. But
Penn State, where Saquon was born, and he does this shit.
He was just working out with Saquon the other day. Like I think like earlier in this week, he posted the video, the MVP video. Like I'm coming for it, and then fucking talks of fucking what's his face? Yeah, Carlos Hyde. Like
Devontae Freeman.
Jesus Christ! Like give the guy his shot. Like
that's what I'm saying. He's doing exactly what Saquon was doing at Penn. So why not have him do exactly what he's doing to benefit the fucking offense as a whole? He finished strong. We saw he can handle the workload. Even though Boston Scott was coming and being pestering or whatever the fuck, which I think is still going to happen in this next season. But what made him finish RB15 was literally the last couple weeks of the fucking season when Jordan Howard went down in week 10. That's where all this hype came from. And I think they got a preview of what he can handle, what he can do, because they were winning games as well. It wasn't like they were losing while he was popping off. They were winning games. Yeah. So I don't see why you just don't stick with it. It's just fucking annoying. And I can't do it. I can't do it come fantasy. I can't do it come draft day taking Miles Sanders at his ADP at 305. This is fucking crazy.
Well, to get back on topic, when it comes to Howard versus Breida.
Fuck, I forgot we were even talking about
that. I'm definitely going with Howard, but I'm definitely probably going to just stay away just to be safe.
Yeah.
But if I had to, it's Howard over Breida for me.
It's a messy situation. Fuck that. Let's jump to the next topic. This topic it's actually very relevant. It's actually been like 2 days since this question has happened with DJ Moore of the Carolina Panthers ADP right now. Some people are saying it's too high. Some people are saying, you can invest in that and be comfortable. It's a start and forget. But I feel like with DJ Moore, he's the only wide receiver there that I can depend on. Robbie Anderson is cool, but I'm more sold on DJ Moore being the number one wide receiver.
Yeah, definitely number one. He's got Teddy Bridgewater throwing to him now, so that's an upgrade. Last year, we didn't know who was fucking throwing to him. Yeah, who's Kyle Allen? Now he's got Teddy Bridgewater. They did get Robbie Anderson, so he's going to take some targets away, but I don't think it's enough to scare anybody off of him, not to scare me off of him. So,
hell no. Hell no. For the simple fact that Robbie Anderson's only a one-trick pony. If he runs a 9, that's about it. I don't see him running slants, comebacks, or anything in the route tree that's going to make him fantasy relevant week to week in PPR. He runs a 9, he scores, oh my God, 11 points. Yes. And then he gets 2 or 3 catches after that. then you're looking at 14 to 15 points, and you're thinking he's in consistent flex play. Stop it.
And he's always got that one game where he scores like fucking 40 fantasy points because he had like 3 catches. All of them were touchdowns of like 30 or 40 yards plus. So
yeah, like DJ Moore was very productive, even with a Kyle Allen, with a terrible, I want to say a terrible overall scheme of the offense, because we all know that it runs through CMC. So when it comes to the receiver core, I think the obvious choice is DJ Moore. The 4th round, I can take DJ for the simple fact that's where Calvin Ridley is going. Cooper Kupp and Chris Godwin, they're well gone off the board. That's like an area where I feel comfortable getting my wide receiver 2 right there, being that DJ Moore was so productive with a Kyle Allen. So it's not like I'm losing out or I'm like reaching or anything of that. Like DJ Moore was still like a very consistent wide receiver. Like I want to compare him to Robert Woods, but I just can't yet. Not just yet. Maybe when he gets me this year.
I mean, he had 87 catches, 135 targets. So, and that's with like no real good quarterback. And with CMC on your team, it's like he's going to get like all the looks at first. Like he's going to get fucking 100 yards rushing and a fucking 100 yards receiving. So,
yeah.
So for him to still have 135 targets with no quarterback whatsoever, and he still received 1,100 receiving yards. So with no quarterback, 1,100 receiving yards, 135 targets. Now you give him Teddy Bridgewater. So
turn up season.
Yeah, I would even say if you're gonna go running back heavy, like in the first 3 rounds or the first 2 rounds, like I would even be comfortable taking DJ as like my wide receiver 1. Like,
yeah, for real. Because to be honest, to throw a stat out there real quick, he had 135 targets, but let's talk about his true catch rate. True catch rate is at an 87.9%, and his the catchable balls that were thrown to him were 99 targets out of that 135. So he came down with majority of those targets that were, really able for him to catch. So he had 87 catches, you said?
Yeah, 87 receptions. Yep, on
87 receptions, and only 99 of those targets were catchable balls to him. That is a ratio I will take all fucking day with a Teddy Bridgewater that's very more accurate, just an overall better quarterback than a fucking Kyle Allen.
Yeah, and with a Teddy Bridgewater, the touchdowns will definitely come up as well because he's going to get better balls. The offense should be moving the ball a lot better. So you're going to get a lot more. Yeah, you'll get a lot more scoring opportunities. So I think last year he only had 4, which is like really low.
Yeah, because we all knew that CMC was going to get those.
Anytime they get in the fucking red zone, it's like they're either going to hand it to him or he's going to go off for a pass and they're going to pass it to him. It's like, I mean, you can't knock the guy because he's a fucking beast.
Exactly. The offense needs to run through him. And that stat there that I just spewed out was the definite hammer down full send on DJ Moore. Like you said, I'm comfortable with him being my wide receiver 1. You're getting him in the 4th round. And even with that being said, you should already have your stud, wide receiver secured in the first 3 rounds. So him coming in as a wide receiver 2 is an honest steal in the 4th round there.
Yeah, you can walk away with 2 running wide receiver 1s right there, and he could be a game changer again. I think he's gonna be more around the 6 to 8 touchdowns this year, maybe more. I mean, who knows? He could have a breakout fucking season. He's got a way better. He's probably got the best QB because he had did he have Cam Newton throw to him his rookie season, but maybe not the whole season because I think he got hurt.
He did, but it's the whole scheme was different. It was either CMC was running the ball, catching the ball, or Cam was throwing it to Curtis Samuel, DJ Moore, or he's running out of the pocket. It was just too much shit going on. So most of the time when Cam's rolling out of the pocket, 9 times out of 10, he's fucking running the ball. So it's you gotta deal with that in the factor. Now Teddy, he's more stationary. He's more in the pocket. He can run. He is mobile. But he will stay in the pocket before, the immediate roll out as soon as a little bit of pressure comes out into that pocket.
He's good at staying in the pocket and keeping his eyes downfield. He's definitely pass first And then when all else fails, if there's no other option, then he can make
Cam
a
was
bullet.
always pass before you finish that sentence. Run.
Yeah, exactly.
So there's that in that situation. But I definitely think like DJ Moore will definitely ascend. He'll play up to his ADP overall, basically what I'm trying to get at. He'll play at that ADP. He'll play in the 4th round. Honestly, to me, like I said, it's too early, but I'm going to say that's a fucking steal.
Yeah. If you can get him in the 4th. I'd be happy with getting him in the 4th. So
for real, because there's chances that he'll go in the 3rd because of the mainstream, media hype and all this other shit that happens out of nowhere. Because that's what the fuck they do. Yeah. But I feel like there's really should be no question on his ADP, and like if we're doing a price check, his price is right. I'll pay for it. Let's move on to the next topic. This one's going to be a funny one. Fucking Devontae Parker versus Michael Thomas on Instagram. Over some soft shit.
How did this thing even fucking start? Like,
bro, it literally started like I think it was a questionnaire of like, what would you rather, or whatever, and Devontae Parker picked somebody else other than Michael Thomas. I don't have it up right now, but it was just like real fucking petty. And like it didn't need for Michael Thomas to respond the way he did. Like it was like he went from fucking 0 to 100 for no reason, like as if he had some off-field beef. Because like even in the comments, you could still see that like the first 3 comments, like Devontae Parker was just fucking around. Like he was playing with him. Like he wasn't serious.
He was just trolling him. Like I think he just put something up like today, like again, Michael Thomas on Twitter. Yeah. Like, I don't know. Just get over it, dude. I mean, obviously he's insecure about something. Like, you're fucking
issues.
Like, you're the best receiver in the fucking league. You shouldn't even respond to stupid shit like that.
Yeah,
like,
why? Yo, you're new to Twitter.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you're freshly new to Twitter and you're already recognizing it. And it's crazy. Like, for the past couple of months I've been following him, like, he is like the most insecure, petty, most emotional. He's like literally like 2 steps away from Antonio Brown. Like that's how emotional he is, bro. Like it's fucking crazy.
Oh
like
my god,
he just went off on him, talking about something. You can't sit at my table. Like, bro, stop. Like Michael Thomas is great. I'll give you that. Like he's the best wide receiver in PPR right now. But let's be honest, all he runs is slants and comebacks. Yeah. Like,
and he's on a pass first offense. He's got Drew Brees.
Like you should just be humble about your shit and not respond.
Devontae Parker has not had a fucking quarterback like his entire career.
Exactly. He hasn't had a quarterback and he hasn't been healthy. So
yeah,
it's like for him, it's kind of like he has a handicap in a way. And like I'm not gonna like say his handicap was him being hurt, but he hasn't had a QB like ever.
Yeah.
And the head coach ever. Like the Miami Dolphins this entire time with Devontae Parker has just been a shit show. But Devontae Parker has been relevant, has been standing out as the obvious wide receiver, like the wide receiver 1. So it's like, cut the guy some slack. He was just fucking with you. Like, why are you being a dickhead?
He must know he's like insecure, and he's just like some people. Like you when you show weakness, some people just come at you harder just to fuck with you. Like it's like shark with blood in the water. It's like, oh my god, this guy can't take it. I'm just gonna keep drawing. His
comments on Twitter, bro. Oh my god, it's like fucking crazy. Like people go at him all day long. Like he just posted like probably like 3 hours ago, like talk is cheap, and they were like the one dude was like, so it's like cheap as slant routes you run, and I'm like, bro, like, people will fucking dig in your ass once you show that weakness.
Oh my god, yeah,
especially on Twitter. Twitter is a whole different atmosphere, a whole nother community, a different complete social media from Facebook and Instagram. Like people on there are fucking nuts. They will spend at least 10 hours a day trolling your one post, talking the same shit until you respond. Like it's endless. There's no spam. There's none. None at all. People will go in on you for 10 hours straight and like, dude, do you work? Do you sleep? Do you eat? Do you shit? Like it doesn't stop.
Well, I guess I don't. I have no more words. Yeah. I just next topic. I haven't been in high school in a while, and I have no intention of going back for this.
Well, the next topic, AJ Green. Is he due for a bounce back season?
Comeback player of the year.
Oh, fuck yeah. I'm with that train. People are rating him off ASAP, bro, because he's dealt with injury back-to-back seasons. It is what it is, you know what I mean? But we have to remember what AJ Green left off with. He was still a top 10 wide receiver, people. He's now healthy. He has time to recover. He had the surgery. Everything went great. This pandemic is going on. He doesn't really have to be too physical, but I'm sure he's working out still. But he has a fresh new kids off the block looking kid, Joe Burrow, coming in
with
with
the
fire.
stogie.
Exactly. He's coming in and he's going to be very versatile. He's putting the ball in amazing places. I watched Joe Burrow's fucking highlight tape and I'm actually impressed.
Yeah. Yeah. I was it's like he came out of nowhere. Then all of a sudden, like LSU just started rolling. This kid fucking Joe Burrow, like, is the guy. Like,
Yeah, right?
swagger level 100. Like, he knows he's the guy, and that can
Big
really help.
Joe.
That can really fucking help you as a quarterback in the league. Like, you don't have to worry about him being intimidated or not being able to step up when the fucking bright lights are on. Like, this guy's won the Heisman, won a national championship, came out of nowhere, and just took the fucking football world by storm. And
Exactly. Like
AJ Green,
confidence.
yeah, like AJ Green he's never had a quarterback like that. Like AJ Dawn or Andy Dawn, sorry. Like swag doesn't I don't even think he even knows what swag is.
No.
And even with Joe Burrow is definitely better than AJ Green. He's definitely going to be a better quarterback for Andy Dawn. I keep saying AJ. But I think people, because of the recent like injury and he hasn't played like a full season, but AJ Green, when healthy, is like
without a question, top 10.
Like a beast, like a superstar. We're talking let me just go from his rookie season 2011 till now. 1,000 yards, 1,300 yards, 1,400 yards, 1,000 yards, almost 1,300 yards, 964, another 1,000, and then last year he was on pace for fucking 1,200 yards, but because of injury, ended at like just under 700. Like, this guy eats, and he gets fucking targets, he gets catches.
It's not that he gets targets. He demands the target. He's fucking open. Give me the ball.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand what people are thinking right now. Like, people are writing him off way too soon. Like, we need to know, like, he's not some slouch that only had 1,000-yard receiving yards or anything like that. He has had consistent back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. So people are writing him off because of his injury, being that he's on the back end of his career. We all know he's looking for that multi-year contract as well, but he's due for a bounce back, being that he's healthy, he's paid, and he's happy. He has a new quarterback.
And he scores touchdowns. Like,
yes.
seven touchdowns, 11 touchdowns, 11, 6, 10, 4, 8, and 6 last year. Like, not even playing a whole season, played 9 games, scoring 6 touchdowns. Like, if he stays healthy, dude, he could be a steal, dude. And
sure.
He could be a top 10 wide receiver, and you're getting him in the fucking 6th round. Like,
that's why I'm glad people are writing him off, and it's like, fine, cool, you're great. You don't believe in him, he's gonna burn you. Cool, you deal with it. But the thing is, like you said, the TDs, the touchdowns, what makes any player take to that next level or make them fantasy relevant. If I'm getting a guy that's targeted 30% of the time, this is 2017 when he was healthy, 30% of the time in the fucking red zone, I'm taking that. Taking that all fucking day. I don't care what anybody says. If he's the number one target when they hit that red zone, I'm taking that all day, without a doubt.
And even with the like the target share or competition, like Tyler Boyd, like rising because of
Oh, and
opportunity.
T. Higgins coming in too.
T. Higgins, I'd say it can eat a little bit of it, but again, like AJ Green is.
AJ Green. His separation off the line, his physical dominance of when he's open, he's going to fucking eat, like you said, regardless. There's no way you ignore AJ Green wide open. There's no way you ignore your wide receiver one that, they want to pay him. That's another thing, too. They want to pay him a multi-year, but again, he's like, 31 right now? I don't think you get that 4-year contract that you're probably looking to bank on. So they'll probably give him a 2-year, a lot of money guaranteed, keep him happy, and then he rides off into sunset or whatever the case may be.
I mean, even with the rise of Tyler Boyd, they got John Ross, now T. Higgins. Like, some people might look at that and like, oh, well, they're going to eat at his targets and, they're going to spread the ball around.
Too many mouths to feed is a false narrative.
But honestly. the way I look at it is like they can't double AJ Green. Like,
no.
What are you gonna? You have to pick your poison. Like, Tyler Boyd has showed he could be a fucking wide receiver one. You got T. Higgins.
Yep, for sure.
You got T. Higgins, who I think could be, a sleeper rookie right there. Mm-hmm. And then you got AJ Green. It's like, pick your poison. Like, someone's gonna be open. And my money is like Joe Burrow's gonna find the guy, and I think it's gonna be AJ Green most of the time.
What I hope happens, like, if mainstream keep like downplaying AJ Green because of his injury, I hope that leads into some of the, mainstream NFL to where like guys like on defense is like, oh, AJ Green's hurt. He's old. Yeah. Fuck him. You know what I mean? Let's get this young guy, Tyler Boyd. Let's get this, T. Higgins coming in. Let's get this fast speedster, fucking John Ross. And then AJ Green just comes in, swoops in, game after game, week after week, putting up stud numbers. And I hope that's what happens. Like, his ADP right now is so fucking disrespectful. It's the 6th round, people. It's like to the point where it's in between of like 5'11" to the early 6th round. That's so fucking disrespectful for a top 10 fucking wide receiver. Like, he should honestly
respect on my man's name.
For facts. I think he needs to be where T.Y. is. He needs to be where Keenan Allen is right now. And that's like the 3rd between the 4th round. That's where he should be at. But I'm going to keep it on hush and let him fall to the 6th round. And I'm going to go ahead and take that. It's a full send. Yeah, please.
Send it.
Come here.
Send it my way. You don't want him? That's fine. I'll take him.
That's fine. See, this is the thing, too. We're in the same league. So, obviously, we're going to be thinking alike. We're going to rewatch these fucking episodes, and it's fine. It's fine. So, I got to keep my eye on you when it comes to draft day. When I see a fucking AJ Green or if I see a DJ Moore sitting there for me in the 4th round. So, this is going to be very spicy, very entertaining come draft day.
Yeah, and everyone in our league is going to be watching this like, they don't know what they're talking about.
Whoa. Here's the thing. Nobody's going to be watching this episode because we didn't have anybody join on.
That's right.
Yeah, there it is. Because they know we're not going to be talking about Lee. We're not going to be talking about Ralph. We're not going to be talking about Desmond. We're not talking about any of these guys. We're about an hour in right now. Nobody's going to watch this from our league, I'm saying.
Whew, 1 hour. Man.
Yeah, right. We're at 59 minutes right now. I mean, we pulled the stretch. We got through all the topics, though. We ended it with AJ Green. So I think this was a very, informative episode. I mean, people are going to get what they asked for. DJ Moore, ADP, AJ Green bounce back. I mean, the running back battles, we had a couple that were on Twitter that were big debates. So they're going to get some good shit out of this.
Keep it coming. What you guys want to hear, we'll talk about it.
Oh, big facts. Definitely. I know some people are surprised we didn't talk Chris Carson. We didn't talk Carlos Hyde. But we can say that for next episode because we need to see what the fuck happens because nobody knows.
Tune in next week.
Everybody's fucking panicking for nothing. I literally just want to headbutt everybody that fucking panics. But this was another great episode of the Fantasy Trash Talkers podcast with my boy, my co-host, my league mate, my league rival, I should say.
Your co-champion.
And yeah, we'll see you guys next week for another great episode of the Fantasy Trash Talkers for episode 5, the big 5. This should be special. I think we're gonna have Desmond on for that one. That should be funny.
Ooh.
So we'll see you guys next week for another great episode of Real Deal Fantasy HQ, Fantasy Trash Talkers, and we'll see you next week. Peace. Keeping that